Okay, so in previous lecture we have completed switch reluctance motor. Okay, now from this lecture we are going to start our third topic. That third topic is actually brushless DC motor, that is also abbreviated as BLDC motor. Okay, so this is actually one of the advanced type of a motor. That is there is a certain modifications made in the conventional DC motor, and then that motor will work as a BLDC motor. So name itself suggests it is a brushless DC motor. That means whatever commutator and brush arrangement is there in conventional DC motor, that commutator brush arrangement is completely eliminated. So in conventional DC motor, the brushes and commutator, basically commutator is used, and that commutator acts as a mechanical rectifier. Okay, so whatever EMF which is induced inside conventional DC motor, that EMF is in alternating form, and to convert that alternating form EMF into unidirectional EMF, that is in DC EMF, we generally use a mechanical rectifier, that is nothing but simple commutator. Okay, so commutation takes place, and due to that commutation the alternating form of EMF is get converted into direct form. Okay, now this brushes and commutator, there are certain disadvantages of this brush and commutator arrangement, and that means whatever mechanical commutation is there, that mechanical commutation leads to certain disadvantages, and in brushless DC motor that mechanical commutation is completely eliminated. Okay, so the mechanical commutation is replaced with certain electronic commutation arrangement. That means by using some power converter semiconductor circuits or power semiconductor circuits, we can completely eliminate the mechanical arrangement of commutator and brushes, and that will leads in some important advantage in the construction of conventional DC motor. So that is actually BLDC motor. Before moving towards BLDC motor, you must know the concepts of PMDC motor. PMDC motor is actually permanent magnet DC motor. Okay, so in this particular lecture, in short, we are going to discuss PMDC motor first, and then after from next lecture we will start actually BLDC motor. Okay, so in this lecture let's start with the PMDC motor. So what is permanent magnet DC motor, what are the advantages of that PMDC motor with conventional DC motor, and what are the different constructions features in PMDC motor. So we are going to discuss that PMDC motor first, and from next lecture we will start BLDC motor. Okay, so I think all of you are familiar with the conventional DC motor. So conventional DC motor, that has two windings. One winding is the stationary winding, and that winding is actually field winding. So whatever stator of conventional DC motor is there, that stator of conventional DC motor consists the field system, and that field winding is generally used to produce the required amount of magnetic field which is required for operation of that motor, either in generating mode or in motoring mode. There is another type of winding which is nothing but the armature winding, and that armature winding is generally a rotating winding. So that armature winding is placed on the rotor, and it acts as a current carrying conductor whenever that machine operates in motoring mode, or it acts as a conductor required to cut the flux whenever that machine works under generating mode. So second, armature winding is generally placed on the rotor. Okay, so that armature is actually rotating winding. So the conventional DC motor consists of field system, and the main purpose of this field system is to produce the main magnetic flux. So whenever we excite that field system with the help of DC supply, then there will be formation of a magnetic field inside the air gap of that motor. Now for small motor, whenever we use this field system, then definitely there will be large amount of power loss takes place inside that field system, because field winding always carries a DC current. So whenever that winding carries current, there will be certain amount of copper loss takes place. So copper loss, as copper loss exists inside that field winding, there will be increment in total losses inside the machine. As the total losses increases, there will be decrease in working efficiency of that motor. That is the one important disadvantage of conventional DC motor. Second important disadvantage is, whenever field system carries current, there will be certain amount of heat generated inside that field winding, and it is necessary to cool that field winding whenever that field winding is subjected to continuous working mode or continuous current, or when that field winding carries current continuously. So for small machine there will be large amount of power loss and lesser efficiency when we use a conventional DC motor. So for such application it is necessary to replace the conventional field system with some another mean, and that simple thing is we can replace that conventional field system with the help of permanent magnets. Okay, so if we replace conventional field system with the help of permanent magnets, then the total losses inside that field system get neglected, or we can simply neglect that field losses, that means field copper losses, because there is no any current conductors, there is no any current flowing through field system. Whatever permanent magnets which are used, that permanent magnets will generate the required amount of magnetic field. तो जो permanent magnet आपने यूज़ किए हैं वो permanent magnet क्या करेंगे, जो required magnetic field है वो generate करेंगे. So whenever we required a smaller DC motors, then in such smaller DC motors the conventional field system is replaced with the permanent magnets. Okay, so I think all of you have seen such small DC motors. So DC motors which are present in tape recorder or whatever DC motors which are there in small toys, that particular DC motor consists of magnets inside the field system or magnets inside that yoke structure, and that small motors are generally PMDC motors, okay, which are permanent magnet DC motors. So it is required to replace the field system with the help of permanent magnets. So due to improvement in this permanent magnet material, now there is a continuous development in the magnetic materials, and due to rise in these magnetic materials we can replace this complete electromagnetic system, that is nothing but the field system, with the help of permanent magnets. And due to using permanent magnets, the efficiency of that motor increases, so there is a rise in efficiency. Second one is the size of that particular motor decreases, and we can use that particular machines for a low space applications. Okay, so the less space requirement, that means there will be decrement in size and the better cooling, because as permanent magnets are used, there is no any problem of temperature rise in case of permanent magnets. Okay, so the yoke structure or the stator structure of that motor, there is no necessity of providing cooling for that stator structure of the motor, as that stator consists permanent magnets. Okay, so PMDC motors are generally used for various automation systems, and the use of permanent magnets avoids the run away due to excitation failure. That is also one more advantage of PMDC motor. So if there is a excitation failure, so when conventional DC motor is considered, if there is a excitation failure takes place in conventional DC motor, definitely that will leads in complete stopping down of that motor. So if there is no excitation, motor will completely comes towards the rest position, but such excitation failure problem is not present in case of PMDC motor, because there is no any external excitation provided to field system. Field system itself is the magnets, so no excitation is provided to field system. So even though, so this loss of excitation problem which exists in conventional DC motor is completely eliminated in PMDC motor. Okay, now second important advantage of PMDC motor is about reluctance. The reluctance of PMDC permanent magnets is nearly equal to reluctance of air. Okay, therefore PMDC motor has a larger effective air gap. So when we talk about PMDC motors, the PMDC motors consist of permanent magnets, and that permanent magnets has reluctance nearly equal to reluctance of air gap. So there is a air gap exists between stator and rotor structure. So whatever reluctance of air is there, same reluctance will be there for the permanent magnet. So the effective air gap length increases. So effective air gap length increases in case of PMDC motor, and that will increase the torque developed by the PMDC motor. Okay, so whatever air gap which is developed inside the motor, or increment in air gap, that will increase the torque. And second thing is, this air gap generally avoids the distortion of a magnetic field which taking place due to the effect of armature flux. So I think you are familiar with this. There will be the distortion of main field takes place due to effect of armature flux, and that effect is generally termed as a armature reaction. So this armature reaction effects in case of PMDC motor are considerably removed or considerably reduced due to increment in effective length of air gap. तो ये effective length of air gap increase क्यों हो रहा है? Because the reluctance of PM permanent magnets are nearly equal to reluctance of air. Therefore, the effective length of air gap increases, and that will reduce the distortion in the main magnetic field due to the effect of armature reaction or due to the effect of armature flux. So that will help. What? Okay, one second. Okay, so the effect of armature distortion, that effect is considerably reduced. So another important advantage is whatever response of that motor, that response is increases, that means response time decreases. So we achieve the very fast response to change in current. Okay, so whenever there is a change in armature current, the motor will respond very smoothly and fastly, and this improves Okay, now that is one modification which is made in DC conventional DC motor. So whenever we change the conventional field system of DC motor with the help of permanent magnet, that motor termed as a permanent magnet DC motor, or it is abbreviated as PMDC motor. Another change in the commutator and brush arrangement. So second important modification in construction of a traditional DC motor is the replacement of a mechanical commutator and brush. So whenever there is a commutator present, then that commutator leads in commutator. Basic function of commutator is to convert the alternating form of EMF which is induced inside armature into direct form. So in simple, that commutator acts as a mechanical rectifier, and whenever there is a commutator exists inside the conventional DC motor, we require certain brushes to extract that current from commutator during generating mode and to supply current to commutator during motoring mode. So always there is a commutator and brushes arrangement takes place inside the conventional DC motor, and that leads in certain amount of power loss inside the machine. Again, second important drawback of a conventional DC motor is the commutation failure. Okay, so in some cases there will be chances of commutation failure takes place in conventional DC motor. So it is convenient to replace this commutator and brush arrangement with the help of some electronic commutation arrangement. So that modification can be made in conventional DC motor. Okay, so this modification results in evolving very popular type of a DC machine which is known as a brushless DC motor or BLDC motor. So this brushless DC motor consists the armature winding which is a stationary. That is the very important modification in case of BLDC motor. So armature winding is present on stator. It is a stationary winding, and the rotor is replaced with the permanent magnet. So without using the winding on the rotor, we generally use the permanent magnets on rotor. So in BLDC motor, there is a simple change in placement of armature and field system. So here armature is stationary and field system is rotating. So field is present on rotor, that field is nothing but your entire permanent magnet. So we place permanent magnets on rotor and the armature winding is stationary. I think all of you are familiar with that. If we replace this arrangement, then also the operation of machine is possible. So say if we have to run that machine as a motor, then we require three important conditions or three important parameters. One is there must be magnetic field, second is there is a conductors, and third one is that conductor should carry current. So if armature is stationary, we can easily excite that stationary armature with the help of current, without using any brush assembly. Okay, so as armature is stationary, the requirement of brushes to excite that particular armature winding is completely eliminated. Second thing is, as armature is stationary, then the stationary armatures can be easily cooled. That is also one of the important advantage of your BLDC motor. When we talk about generating mode, then in case of generating mode, the three important conditions are: first one is there must be field, second one is there must be conductors, and third important parameter is there must be relative motion between field and conductor. So we can achieve this relative motion either by keeping field stationary and rotating armature, or reverse, that means by keeping armature stationary and rotating field. So anyhow we have to achieve the relative motion between armature, conductors and field winding. So that can be achieved by keeping field stationary, or that can be achieved by keeping field rotating. So in BLDC machine or BLDC motor, the field winding is generally, or field is generally rotating, and that field system is made up of permanent magnets, whereas armature is stationary. Now the commutation is generally achieved by using a semiconductor switching devices and a digital controller. So there is a simple semiconductor switching circuit. We are going to discuss that semiconductor switching circuit in detail in BLDC machine, and as well as electronic commutation part. Okay. So this commutation process is generally achieved by using a semiconductor switching devices and digital controller. Now, why this commutation process is also required in case of BLDC? Someone may say, as armature winding is stationary, what is necessity of this commutation? According to Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, whatever EMF which is induced inside the rotating conductor, that EMF is always in alternating form. So EMF induced inside any conductor, even though that machine is DC motor or that machine is AC motor, the induced EMF is always in AC form. So whenever we use that machine as a DC machine, we require certain commutation action so that that EMF is get converted into DC during generating mode. Again, whenever we talk about motor, the required EMF for winding is actually alternating EMF. So we have to convert DC terminal voltage into alternating EMF. So that is again achieved by using commutation process. So commutator either acts as a rectifier or it acts as a simple inverter type device during motoring and generating mode in case of conventional DC system. So whatever commutation process which is exists inside BLDC motor, that commutation process is now electronic commutation process. So conventional mechanical commutation process is completely eliminated from conventional DC motor by using this reverse construction. That means armature stationary and the permanent magnet field as a rotating. So in addition to this advantages of PMDC motor, whatever advantages of PMDC motors are there, that all advantages are there for BLDC motor. In addition to this, the second important or few important advantages are the BLDC motor has advantages like low inertia. Now low inertia, that is due to replacement of entire field system with the help of permanent magnets. That is one thing. Second thing, ability to operate with the low voltage DC supply, and next one is elimination of electromagnetic and radio interference. Along with this, one more important advantage is as rotor consists permanent magnets, so the inertia of that entire rotor get reduced. If we use field system on rotor, so field winding has higher inertia. If we place winding, that will increase inertia of that entire rotor. So in BLDC motor, rotor consists permanent magnets, so the inertia of that rotor is less. And second thing is, as rotor has a lesser inertia, we can use that BLDC motor or PMDC motor, so especially BLDC motor for large speed applications. Okay, for higher speed applications we can use this BLDC motor. Okay, so initially we are going to discuss PMDC motor, and then after we will proceed towards BLDC motor. So what is PMDC motor? So when traditional commutator motor, which is nothing but our conventional DC motor, so when we replace this conventional DC motor, field system of that conventional DC motor with the help of permanent magnets, then that machine acts as a permanent magnet DC motor, or PMDC motor. Okay, so when we use permanent magnets for field system, that is whenever electromagnetic field system is replaced by the permanent magnets, the motor is called as a PMDC motor. Okay, so as we use a permanent magnets in field system, there will be considerable reduction in the diameter of stator and overall size of motor is smaller as compared to conventional DC motor. Now I think conventional DC motor, that word you are familiar with that. Conventional DC motor, field system with field winding, armature system with armature winding. So when we replace that field winding with the help of permanent magnets, anyhow we required magnetic field, we can generate that magnetic field either by using field system and by exciting that field system in as similar to conventional DC motor, or we can use permanent magnets. So when we use permanent magnets, definitely there will be also generation of a magnetic field in between that two permanent magnets. Only important thing is we require opposite polarity permanent magnets. That means if one side permanent, if say motor is two pole motor, if one magnet is say p type magnet, then another should be one magnet having suppose n magnetic pole, then another should be with s magnetic pole. So if there is a north and south pole exist, then there will be existence of magnetic field between that two permanent magnets. Okay, if we use a two permanent magnets pole with a similar polarity, then definitely there is no any magnetic field because there is a force of repulsion. Okay, so two magnetic poles with the opposite polarities are used, and when we use that permanent magnets for field system, the overall size of motor is reduced. So one important disadvantage, that is only one disadvantage for PMDC motor, is we cannot use this motor for above rated speed application. So we can use this motor only for up to rated speed or below rated speed. Why this is so? Because if we have to increase motor speed above rated speed, then we have to reduce the flux which is developed by that magnet. Because speed, if you recall speed equation, then what is equation for speed? So speed of a motor, n is equal to, or n is proportional to Eb divided by flux phi. Okay, Eb divided by flux phi. So speed is always inversely proportional to flux phi. So if we have to increase speed of a motor above rated speed, we have to decrease the value of flux. It is not possible to increase flux beyond rated speed because there is a certain current limiting capacity for the field winding. We cannot increase field current above that rated current. So only way is we can reduce that field current. Okay, so I think if you recall field control method of speed control for DC shunt motor, we use one variable rheostat in field circuit, and by using that variable rheostat we can decrease the magnitude of flux. So if field winding exists, then and then only above rated speed control is possible. As here field system is completely eliminated and we use that field system, or we replace that field system with permanent magnet, there is a no hold of the particular human to control the flux which is developed by that permanent magnet. We can't change the magnitude of flux developed by permanent magnet. That flux is constant. Okay, so as flux is constant in case of permanent magnet, the above rated speed application of that motor is not possible in case of PMDC. So we can use PMDC motor only for up to rated speed application or below rated speed application. We can control speed below rated speed. So for that purpose we have to go with armature control method. So armature control method is possible in case of PMDC motor, but we cannot use this PMDC motor for above rated speed application because field control method is not applicable for PMDC. Why this is so? Because flux is constant. Why flux is constant? Because we use permanent magnets. So as permanent magnets are used, there is no any control on flux which is developed by that permanent magnet. So that flux developed by permanent magnets is always constant. So we cannot control that flux. Okay, so we cannot use this motor for above rated speed application. So sometimes question may be asked in interview, why PMDC motor is not used for above rated speed application? So the reason behind this is we can't change flux of that particular PMDC motor. We can't reduce the magnitude of flux because flux developed by permanent magnets is always constant. After a longer time span, there may be reduction in that flux quantity, whatever, if that strength of magnets get reduced, okay, because when we use that motor for a longer period, then there may be chances of reduction in the magnetic field strength, and if that magnetic field strength get reduced, definitely there will be change in speed. But that reduction in magnetic field strength is not possible in conventional applications, okay, because flux is generally constant for your permanent magnets. Therefore, we can't increase the speed of a motor above rated speed. Now let's see the construction of a PMDC motor. So remaining constructional part is same. Stator structure is entirely same as the conventional DC motor. So if you look towards a rotor structure, rotor structure is same as conventional DC motor. Stator is different. So if you look towards this conventional rotor, then rotor consists a shaft. On shaft there is a armature core. This armature core consists armature winding. Okay, and second thing is there is a commutator. That commutator is used for a commutation process. We are talking about PMDC. We are not talking about BLDC. Okay. So in PMDC again same commutation, mechanical commutation is used, which is similar to conventional DC motor. So there is a commutator. Then as commutator is exists, definitely we require brushes. So to extract and to supply current to this armature winding, we require a brush arrangement. So commutator brush arrangement, and that brushes are excited with the DC supply. Because PMDC motor, we have to run this machine under motoring mode. So we have to excite armature winding whenever we are going to run that machine in motoring mode. Because always motor works on principle, whenever current carrying conductor placed in magnetic field, it experiences a force. So whatever armature winding which is placed inside the magnetic field developed by this permanent magnet, we have to simply supply that armature winding so that that armature winding will carry its current. And to supply that armature winding, we required external DC supply and brush commutator arrangement. Okay, so the rotor is similar to conventional DC motor. Stator, now in case of stator, there is no any presence of stator pole shoe, so that entire field structure is completely eliminated. There is no field winding present on stator. So the outer body, that is the yoke or stator frame, is made up of a magnetic material. So for smaller motor, a single magnetic, that is solid outer ring or yoke structure is used. For larger motor, generally that entire stator structure is a laminated one. At inner periphery of that stator, there are permanent magnets. So permanent magnets are fixed at inner periphery of that stator. So there is no any pole structure, because pole structure is required whenever we have to wound a winding on a stator. Stator पे जब आपको winding wound करना है तो आपको pole structure की ज़रूरत है. So here there is no any field winding. So directly we place these permanent magnets at inner periphery of the stator. So the upper side and lower side there is a permanent magnet. So number of permanent magnets again depends upon the number of poles which are present inside that stator. Again there are various construction topologies, and accordingly there will be the permanent magnets. So these permanent magnets which are connected at inner periphery of stator, that permanent magnets will generate the required amount of magnetic field. Armature winding is excited with the external DC supply, so it will act as a current carrying conductor, and according to the current carrying conductor placed in magnetic field, there will be experience, or the entire rotor will experiences the force, and the motor will runs in a particular direction. So that depends upon again the direction of current which is flowing through this armature winding and the direction of magnetic field. Okay, so now when we consider the stator structure, the stator consists of frame which is made up of the magnetic material. And why magnetic material stator frame is used? Because that stator frame has to provide a return path for the magnetic field. तो जो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड यहाँ पे परमानेंट मैग्नेट्स डेवलप करने वाले हैं, उसको जो रिटर्न पाथ है, दैट रिटर्न पाथ इज प्रोवाइडेड थ्रू स्टेटर. इन कन्वेंशनल डीसी मोटर अगेन सेम, द स्टेटर इज और योक इज मेड अप ऑफ the magnetic material. The reason behind this is whatever magnetic flux which is developed by field system, that flux get returned, or that flux will passes through that magnetic stator structure, and that stator yoke or yoke structure will provide the return path for that magnetic field. So always a yoke and stator frame of a DC machine is made up of a magnetic material, because that allows the flow or formation of a magnetic field. So stator is made up of a magnetic material, and that serves the return path for the magnetic flux, as well as it provides the mechanical supports to the permanent magnets which are fixed inside the stator. Now, depending upon the different permanent magnets material, there will be various constructions for this stator structure. So what are the different permanent magnets are used? The permanent magnets for PMDC motors are different grades of Alnico, then ceramic or ferrite magnets, then samarium cobalt and neodymium iron boron. So these four important magnetic materials are widely used in case of permanent magnet system, any permanent magnet system. I am not talking about only motor. So now these are actually these two magnets, that is the samarium cobalt and then second one is neodymium iron boron. These are now recent advancements in the magnetic materials. Okay. So first type of the magnets which are used, that type of magnet is the different grades of the Alnico. Now Alnico is what? It is the alloy. It is the magnet which is the alloy of aluminium, nickel and iron. Okay, therefore that is known as the Alnico. So this type of magnets are generally used in higher temperature applications. Okay, so depending upon the type of applications, the requirement of parameters from that motor, there may be different magnetic materials used in a field system for PMDC motor. So when we use this Alnico is generally used for the motors which are generally subjected to the higher temperature application. Now based on the quality of Alnico, that Alnico is graded as the Alnico 5, Alnico 7, Alnico 9, and this grade number increases with the quality. So in market, if we go for higher quality of Alnico magnets, then that grade number should be higher. Okay, this grade number, second number, this Alnico is the type and second number is actually the grade number. So this grade number, if this number is higher, then the quality of magnet is the higher. Okay, so Alnico 9 has the higher quality as compared to Alnico 5. Okay. Second type of magnetic material which is used is the ferrite magnets, that is also known as the ceramic magnets. So these magnets is generally the cheapest form of the magnets. So it is the cheapest possible magnetic material and it is can be used in the PMDC motor. So whenever cost factor is arises in the PMDC motor, then generally we replace the other magnets with the ceramic magnets, because this magnet has a lower cost. Okay, so whatever PMDC motor which is made up of ceramic or ferrite magnets, that motors are generally low cost motors. Okay, so these magnets have linear demagnetization characteristics in the second quadrant. Always permanent magnet, if you recall BH curves of permanent magnets, then permanent magnets has BH curve in second quadrant. Okay, the operating characteristics of a permanent magnet BH curve is always in second quadrant. Second quadrant, BH curve का quadrant पता है. So on y axis there is a B, on x axis there will be H. So always the BH curve of permanent magnets is in second quadrant. Second quadrant means positive value of B, negative value of H. Okay, B is what? It is the flux density. H is what? It is the magnetic field intensity. That is also known as a field strength. Okay, so always permanent magnets has or permanent magnets works in a second quadrant of a BH curve. So that size of that particular magnet or size of BH curve is changes according to the different types of magnet. BH curve, that BH curve is either thinner or BH curve is either wider. So this particular variation in that BH curve पता है. Okay, I think ऐसा एक कुछ कर्व आपने okay. Okay, so this type of curve you might be studied in BEE, no, okay, not in BEE, but I think in physics. So always this quadrant is actually the second quadrant. This is the second quadrant of BH curve, and always the permanent magnets had BH curve characteristics in this second quadrant. So such type of characteristics of permanent magnets are there, and that characteristics depends upon the type of magnet. Okay, तो ये जो BH curve है, area under BH curve, so that is actually known as the entire strength of that magnet. Okay, so depending upon the type, ferromagnetic material, paramagnetic material, okay, so there will be the variation in the area of that BH curve. So always these permanent magnets characteristics, demagnetization characteristics lies in the second quadrant, and they are these ceramic or ferrite magnets are generally characterized by the lower actually this is reminence. Reminence is termed with the flux density. Okay, so the maximum flux density that can be maintained by the magnet after being magnetized to saturation at the specified temperature. Reminence term is generally related to the magnetic saturation. So reminence, it is the maximum flux density which is maintained by the magnet whenever that magnet gets saturation or magnet gets saturated. Okay, so this is these ceramic magnets are generally characterized with the lower reminence. Okay, now the performance of this particular ceramic magnet is up to 100 degrees Celsius. So we can use this particular magnetic material for the applications when the motor subjected to the 100 degrees Celsius. Third one is the Sm2CO17 magnets, which is also known as the samarium cobalt magnets, and these are suitable for the operating temperatures up to 200 degrees Celsius, and they have a larger reminence and high coercive force than that of the conventional Alnico magnet as well as than that of the ceramic magnets. Okay, and last type is actually neodymium iron boron, which is NdFeB magnets. So these are comparatively the latest member of the family of permanent magnet. As I have already told, this is the latest revolution in the magnetic material. Okay, so these magnetic materials are generally produced by the melt spin and mill and sinter process. This is actually the formation process for that magnet. So you can Google this particular magnetic process. That means actually this is the manufacturing process of this NdFeB magnet. Okay, these particular magnets have the highest BH product. That means the area of this particular BH curve for this NdFeB magnet, this particular area is highest as compared to the remaining three magnets. Okay, so the BH product is generally high. BH product means what? It is under simply area under that BH curve. Area under BH curve is the BH product. Okay, so these magnets are generally high sensitivity for the temperature, and therefore they should be used in design requiring operating temperature only up to 100 degrees Celsius. So these are very temperature sensitive, so we can use these magnets up to 100 degrees Celsius only. Okay, now these are the various constructional features or construction difference of your stator structure. So if you look towards this stator structure, it is the four pole yoke with the longitudinal magnetized permanent magnets. So that are depends upon the placements of these permanent magnets. So 4 permanent magnets are there, therefore it is a 4 pole structure. Okay, this is 4 pole frame with the permanent magnets magnetized along thickness. So whenever we place these permanent magnets at side, then this is the another type of the stator structure. Then there are different 2 pole structures. So here we use 2 magnets on 2 sides of the stator. So this is the 2 pole structure. Here we use a pole shoe, and that pole core and pole shoe. On pole core there is a permanent magnet. So this is again one of the 2 pole structure, and this is third type of 2 pole structure whenever we use arc type permanent magnet. So depending upon the requirements of a magnetic field, we can use any one of the type of stator frame for this PMDC. Okay, so this is actually product, whatever BH product I have mentioned for NdFe this NdFeB magnet, that BH product is this. So always permanent magnets work in second quadrant, and this is the BH product, B multiplied by H product for permanent magnets characteristics, or for permanent magnets BH curve. So for NeFeB magnets, this product is generally high. So when we consider the characteristics in second quadrant only, then this is the Alnico 7. Okay, BH curve for Alnico 7. This is the BH curve for the ceramic. Third one is the BH curve for SnCO, and this is the BH curve for NdFeB. So from these characteristics BH curve for permanent magnets, you can see that for NdFeB magnets, the BH curve, that is the BH product of B into H, that product is high, means area under BH curve is high for this NdFeB magnets. Okay. Now I will share this PDF along on Google Classroom, so you can see the various properties of that permanent magnets. So actually that part is not here, but for only understanding or for extra knowledge, you can refer this particular table. Okay, so Alnico grading 5 to 7, there are different values of Br, HDSC and BH max. BH max is actually the product of B and H. So for NdFeB, this B and H product is highest as compared to remaining three types of permanent magnets. Okay, so you can refer these properties of permanent magnets. This is Br in Weber per meter square. Then NdSc, this is product of HD and Sc. HD and Sc. Sc is what? This is actually Sc term. Okay, which is nothing but your the value of magnetic field intensity at the point of intersection. So this is Sc. Okay, so HDSc is the product, and that product is along x-axis of your BH curve for permanent magnet. So that is the value of HD into Sc and product of BH. Okay, so that is in simple, it is nothing but the area under BH curve. So for NdFeB, the area under BH curve is higher. Okay, so but only important thing is this NdFeB magnets. These magnets are generally temperature sensitive. So we cannot use this particular type of permanent magnets for the motors which are subjected to temperature above 100 degrees Celsius, because after that they will lose, this particular magnetic material will lose their magnetization characteristics, and that will definitely affect on operation of motor. Okay, so these are the temperature sensitive magnets.